Wiesław Matuch and his life's work. The knowledge of Father Pio. The knowledge of Father Pio is a message from the afterlife for all humanity, which Father Pio conveyed through Wiesław Matuch after his death. This knowledge has been hidden for thousands of years, knowledge not only about our planet, knowledge that is uncomfortable and difficult yet optimistic, encouraging spiritual growth. For many this knowledge will be a huge challenge, but also a true treasure of the heart. It speaks simultaneously about the causes of suffering and the pursuit of perfection. Let's start from the beginning. The creation of the material world is presented differently than we have been told for years. Father Pio says, God only created heaven and the angels once. He hasn't created anything else since then. After a wonderful, beautiful and miraculous life in heaven, some angels decided to leave it to create their own alternative wonders. Well, freedom of choice. Endowed with powerful godly powers, they established their own private heavens. What we see through telescopes, the cosmos, star systems, planetary systems became the new heaven for the adventurous angels. Our earth also belongs to it. It's safe to say that each of us is a fallen angel today. Billions of years ago, we took part in the escape from the original heaven. We created material worlds, which, as it turned out, were very unreliable and imperfect. Through the quarrels and fights of angels, evil and suffering were emitted. The original sin of Adam and Eve is just a synonym for what happened in heaven, where the decision was made to leave the wonderful heavenly life. Freedom, curiosity and pride were the reasons for going beyond the veil of heaven to create our own palaces of happiness. As we already know from experience, the project failed. A huge amount of problems and suffering arose. After disconnecting from God, the power began to weaken. There was no power for life. It was realized that a huge mistake had been made by leaving God. Despite the bad consequences, strategic decisions were made that the rebellious angels would nevertheless maintain the work of their hands, the cosmos, drawing into it souls that had lost hope for the true heaven. This is what happens to this day. Billions of civilizations scattered across countless galaxies function in suffering without heaven and God. Everyone fell into a controlled cycle of reincarnation to produce energy to sustain life, which was supposed to be a wonderful heaven and entertainment. The plan went wrong. Souls suffer torment, no longer knowing the reasons and truth about their existence, complete degradation. Our memory was taken away. The fallen angels gave us a journey of souls across different planets, galaxies, civilizations. This journey has been going on for billions of years. They created a system that separates us from the truth, separates us from the true heaven and above all from the wonderful eternal God, commonly called love itself. Most of the angels, however, did not leave and remained in the original heaven. God was the first to decide on a helping hand for his falling children. He does it to this day. So, from time to time, he sends beings from heaven to help civilizations in the galaxies. Many souls have already received this help in the form of liberating knowledge. They could return to heaven. However, it is a difficult mission to convey heavenly knowledge in the material cosmos, almost always extremely dangerous. Those who rule the cosmos do not want this help and turn everyone against God, and they harm, even kill, the messengers sent. In short, the satanic federations do not give up, which is why this suffering lasts so long. Nevertheless, knowledge slowly makes its way to the angels who want to return. Many souls have already been saved, have left the utopian cosmos, this unsuccessful heaven. Thanks to the help of wonderful messengers, they have reached the source from which they emerged at the beginning of their escape. The material cosmos closed itself off to the knowledge of God, forbade communication with him. But thanks to the fact that God has extended a hand to us, and from time to time sends brave angels from heaven into the realm of matter, knowledge multiplies. It becomes a treasure, because thanks to it, souls begin to understand causes and effects. Through the forbidden knowledge from heaven, souls are helped to leave the bad heaven. They learn anew that there is an original heaven. They begin to follow it themselves through spiritual development. Finally, they reach the goal and enter the heaven created by God and not by friends and colleagues, as is the case with material galaxies. This is what salvation is all about. Knowledge is liberation, and with the help of love for God and neighbor, it becomes salvation. One of these brave angels was Father Pio. He incarnates and is born on our earth with a plan to impart secret knowledge. He becomes a monk and a saint of the Catholic Church, in which he is persecuted like many other saints. In obedience to the Church, he fulfills his secret mission of transmitting original knowledge from heaven. He begins his activity hidden from the world and the Church during his lifetime and continues it after his death to this day. This book of knowledge of Father Pio meets the criteria necessary for understanding life. It shows the universe from beginning to end. It teaches about the original heaven. It suggests how to get there. The practical advice and spiritual knowledge contained in this book, inspired by Father Pio, guarantee every person who studies it that they can attain their salvation after death. They can count on getting out of the circle of cosmic light and from their own DNA, which has imprisoned everyone in a hell of suffering. The book of knowledge of Father Pio can be opened on any page, and you can start reading. Short thoughts, bound by the clasp of concise knowledge, give the reader the comfort of thinking with full sets of wisdom and knowledge. And may this book be your guide and source of inspiration on the path to spiritual enlightenment.